Today, Lebanon attempts to elect a new president after 2 years of deadlock. Elon Musk discusses removing UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer from office, and Romania sets a date for the rerun of its annulled presidential election. From TLDR News, this is your daily briefing for Thursday the 9th of January, 2025. Lebanon faces its best chance yet of ending more than 2 years of political deadlock and filling its vacant presidency today, as the country's parliament gathered for its 13th attempt at electing a president, with Lebanese army chief Joseph Aoun seemingly on the verge of winning. For some important context, the president of Lebanon is elected by the country's parliament, and under Lebanon's sectarian power-sharing system, the president must be a Maronite Christian. Lebanon's most recent president, Michel Aoun, no relation to the Joseph Aoun we mentioned earlier, saw his term end back in October 2022. But none of the groups in parliament had enough seats to impose their favoured candidate instead. And for more than 2 years, it's proven impossible for them to reach a consensus, with a deadlock largely between pro- and anti-Hezbollah blocs. Now, Hezbollah and its allies had backed former minister Suleiman Frangi, who'd been an ally of neighbouring Syria's former President Assad. But today's session of voting, the 13th overall, is its first attempt since Hezbollah was seriously weakened by its war in Israel last year, and also the first since Hezbollah's Syrian ally, Bashar al-Assad, was toppled last month. As such, this was seen as the best chance yet at finally filling the presidential vacuum and steadying the country's course. And simultaneously, General Joseph Aoun's candidacy picked up momentum, with the United States and also Saudi Arabia and France believed to be in support of him. Envoys from all three countries have been in Lebanon recently as part of deliberations. Aoun is considered a generally popular and relatively uncontroversial national figure, and his time leading the Lebanese military has earned him international support. And he also has a key role in shoring up the American and French-brokered ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah. In fact, there appeared to be a breakthrough on Wednesday this week, when Hezbollah-backed candidate Suleiman Frangi withdrew and endorsed Aoun, and the Speaker of Parliament, a Hezbollah ally, hinted at support for Aoun too. While Hezbollah at the time of writing has not yet issued an official endorsement, a senior official said on Sunday that Hezbollah does not veto General Aoun's candidacy for president. In the first round of voting on Thursday, Aoun received 71 votes in the 128-seat chamber, so fell below the 2/3 or 86-vote threshold necessary to win outright. While 71 votes would be enough to win in the second round, Aoun's success is not guaranteed, as non-Aoun voters can prevent a second round from even taking place by just not showing up, and thus denying quorum in the chamber. The parliamentary speaker announced a 2-hour break before the potential second round, so at the time of writing we don't yet know what will happen, but we'll make sure to pin a comment on this video to give you the latest update. Regardless though, the last few years have been devastating for Lebanon. A financial collapse in 2019, the massive Beirut port explosion in 2020, all exacerbated by the COVID pandemic, the political deadlock, and most recently the widespread bombardment by Israel, means a major rebuilding effort is necessary. There's more on the way, but remember to subscribe and ring the bell for more daily briefing tomorrow. Plus, if you want to support the channel, like Pascal ADP, then consider joining the TLDR Daily Membership Program for just $1.99. Next up, tech billionaire Elon Musk's spat with the UK government has ramped up this week, with reports suggesting that Musk has held private discussions with allies about how UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer could be removed from office before the next general election. Now, we've actually released a video about this over on the TLDR UK channel. Plus, we'll have a new episode of our podcast Starmageddon coming out tomorrow, where we also discuss the topic. So definitely watch those for more background. Essentially though, Musk's interest in UK and European politics really seems to have developed in the past 6 months. He's repeated conspiracy theories that Western civilization is under threat from diverse cultural influences, and began attacking Starmer's Labour government in July, following the knife attacks in Southport. This week though, in an effort to further destabilise UK politics, Musk has sought advice on how Starmer could be ousted from office. Musk has also accused Starmer, who was the head of the Crown Prosecution Service between 2008 and 2013, of being complicit in the historical rape of girls by grooming gangs. Meanwhile, Musk has also been in discussions with the populist right-wing Reform UK party about potential donations. Also, this evening, Musk will hold a live-stream conversation on X with Alice Weidel, the leader of Germany's far-right Alternative for Deutschland. And this comes just weeks ahead of the country's federal election in February, and follows criticism of Musk by Friedrich Merz, the leader of Germany's centre-right party, in December, which prompted Musk to write, "Only the AfD can save Germany." Musk's conversation with Vidal is expected to be friendly and unstructured, similar to his chat with Donald Trump last year, but it could lead to some more radical statements from Vidal, who has so far tried to show herself as being on the party's more moderate wing. Now, let's move over to Los Angeles, California, where at least 5 people have been killed and more than 1,000 structures destroyed and more than 100,000 people had to evacuate as wildfires raged across the area. The fires, fueled by Santa Ana winds gusting over 70 miles per hour, ignited rapidly on Wednesday morning, forcing residents to flee from their home. Multiple major blazes are currently ongoing, including the Palisades fire, which is now the most destructive in LA history. In fact, this disaster in the Pacific Palisades has consumed approximately 25 square miles. State Governor Gavin Newsom has mobilized 1,400 firefighting personnel, and in a rare urgent plea, the Los Angeles Fire Department asked all off-duty firefighters in the city to help. Oregon has also sent 300 firefighters, and Washington State 146 personnel. Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona are also all dispatching teams. Now, damage estimates vary from $52 billion to $57 billion, while air quality alerts have been issued for 17 million residents, warning of serious health risks associated with smoke inhalation. In the wake of the fire, Republicans seized on the catastrophe to blame Democratic policies. In a Truth Social post, President-elect Donald Trump lashed out at Governor Gavin Newsom, calling the virtually apocalyptic fires Newsom's responsibility, after the state's policies diverted millions of gallons of water from the region over animal welfare concerns. Claims that Newsom have called pure fiction. Meanwhile, LA Mayor Karen Bass has faced heavy criticism when it was revealed that she cut the city's fire department budget by $17.6 million, something that's clearly looking like a mistake at this point. Finally, let's move to Romania, which has set a new date for the rerun of its annulled presidential election. This will be taking place on the 4th of May, with a second round runoff held on May 18th, and will be closely watched by the EU and NATO. For context, in November, the first round of Romania's 2024 presidential election was held as planned, but its results triggered international shockwaves. That's because a little-known university professor, the far-right pro-Russian candidate Călin Georgescu, stormed to victory with almost 23% of the vote, despite having been polling only around 5% before the election. After the results, concerns then emerged about Russian hybrid action, with declassified information showing that a huge social media campaign promoting Georgescu had taken place, involving paid influencers and members of extremist groups. While the documents didn't say that Russia was directly responsible, they strongly implied it. This then led Romania's constitutional court to annul the results of the first round, and announced that a rerun would then be held in spring 2025. However, Georgescu's popularity has remained high, and may even be growing, meaning that, unless the court decides to disqualify him on account of undeclared funding, he could still win again. 2024 was a pretty wild year, with billions of people headed to the ballot box to elect new leaders. In fact, with the majority of the democratic world voting, there's a good chance that you missed something weird, interesting, or exciting that happened. So if you want to head into 2025 feeling on top of everything that happened last year, or if you want something to commemorate the crazy year we just went through in politics, then consider picking up a copy of our magazine, Too Long, where the election special dives deep into 29 major elections from around the world. We don't just discuss elections though. We also run through China's trade issues, Biden's successes and failures, the UK's new opposition leader, and the state of the wars in Ukraine and Gaza. Plus, the fact it's a magazine also means that we're not constrained by the time limits or algorithms imposed by YouTube. Unlike fleeting news cycles and algorithmic feeds, Too Long offers thought-provoking analysis and comprehensive coverage that's truly worth holding. Purchasing is also a great way to support the channel. Running TLDR in 2024 cost just over £800,000. So if you've enjoyed our coverage, then picking up a copy of Too Long doesn't just get you high quality reporting, it also allows you to invest in independent journalism and join us in shaping the future of news. Also, if you want to support us long term, you can also subscribe to Too Long to get a copy every 4 months. As a thank you, subscribers also get 25% off every issue as long as they stay subscribed, which is pretty huge. Find out more and pick up a copy at toolong.news or by clicking the link in the description. Thanks for your support, and thanks for backing Too Long.